What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we are about 3 days in to the Burning Crusade pre-patch. Now, we're going to be kind of recapping how this has gone so far in the past 72 hours since the Burning Crusade pre-patch has gone live. Now, I have been playing quite a lot. I've been doing a lot of PvP. I leveled my Blood Elf Mage. I've been having a really good time, but it wasn't all good, to be completely honest, and I feel like that's what we need to kind of talk about in this video. I think Blizzard is doing a great job now, kind of turning a lot of things around, and there was, a lot of mishaps that were going on dating back to literally launch night, right? The servers didn't even go live until roughly 8 or 9 hours after they said the servers would be going live, right? And this was kind of to be expected. In my previous job, I did work in the tech field, so I kind of knew with this like massive migration and like decoupling of all these versions of Classic WoW that there was going to be some serious issues, and it lasted longer than they expected, which is fine. Things like this happen. I do think that anyone who was kind of pissed off at this at the time, it's justifiable, but just so you know that this is going to be way better for Classic WoW as a whole in the long run, right? It is. I mean, decoupling all these versions of Classic WoW, putting Burning Crusade Anniversary on its own client, all these things are going to be massive moving forward throughout this year with the, phase releases for Burning Crusade, possible Classic Plus in the future. This is just all good stuff, and it's kind of been ironed out, and it's great. So the first thing, though, that I want to talk about, aside from the fact that it took forever for the servers to come online, which, again, was to be expected, is that they ended up moving these servers West Coast, which was a really interesting, decision. We didn't really get any communication about it. I'm an East Coaster myself, so, I was used to playing on the central servers with around a 30 ping. It felt fine and no big deal. And then when I logged back in, I was met with a, 80 to 90 ping consistently. Now, at first, I thought this was, I just thought this was just because there were so many people logged on. There was like 10 layers on Night Slayer. It was a lot of people, right? But then I noticed that even after it calmed down, I still had this very high ping. So then we get the comms that the servers have been moved to West Coast. A little upset about that, but to be completely honest, for anyone who's worried about that, I've been playing and I really don't see much of a difference. It's not that big of a deal. And I don't see any noticeable lag anymore after that first day. And I really do think that was because so many people were on. So if you were worried about the servers moving to West Coast and you're, an East Coast gamer, I wouldn't worry about it. I've been doing tons of PvP and stuff like that. Absolutely see no difference in like, the input of when I hit my buttons to when, the abilities happen on screen. It feels exactly the same as before, so I would not worry about that. Now, aside from that, we had the boost debacle, right, where boosts were just broken and not working for a long time after the servers first came up. Now, since then, this has been fixed. I can confirm that. I have boosted character myself. There is no issues anymore, but this wasn't working, and it was, this was a major part of the launch. A lot of people bought the boosts and paid money for it, and they weren't working. Again, another hiccup that happened, but Blizzard made right on it. They fixed it. Everything seems to be working, as intended at this point in time. Now, another thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the PvP honor grind, okay? This is arguably one of the biggest parts of the Burning Crusade pre-patch. A lot of people are boosting their characters and then farming the High Warlord or Grand Marshal gear in Arathi Basin, Warsong Gulch, and Alterac Valley right now. This grind, in my opinion, the way that it was off the rip, was definitely a little bit daunting for the casual player. You would definitely need to do roughly 16 to 20 hours of PvP, before you could see that full set, which again, arguably is okay. I mean, there's people who ranked for months to get this gear, but you got to realize we're in pre-patch right now. And, none of this gear is really relevant past like level 63. Maybe some of it is, but not all of it. And people are just doing it to have fun. So since then, Blizzard put out some comms saying that they were going to lower the prices of the honor gear. Okay, so they were like, stack your honor, no problem. We're going to be lowering the prices of the gear. Just hang on. We're going to do it over the next few days. So yesterday, we get the fix for this. They didn't actually lower the price of the honor gear, and the reason for that was that they stated, because some people already purchased the gear, so lowering the price now would kind of be a slap in the face. So instead, what they did was they increased the honor gains from 100% to 150%. I've done a few BGs this morning since the change, and I've noticed that it is a pretty decent change. And I'll be honest, where it's at right now, it feels a little bit, you know, grindy. It definitely is going to be a grind. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. You can definitely get the full set on multiple characters. You know, people got to realize we do have 3 weeks of pre-patch, right? So if you were able to get the High Warlord gear in 4 or 5 hours of PvPing, you know, you're then just going to log off until Burning Crusade launches, because now what else do you really have to do aside from play another character? Where it stands right now, you'll be able to farm the set on multiple characters. You can level a Blood Elf. You can kind of do whatever you want. There's enough time in pre-patch to do that. So I think that where we're at is a good spot. Maybe even 175 would have felt a little bit better, but I think at the 150% bonus honor, we're in a good spot, and I think that it's pretty good. I don't think there's any issues with that. But aside from that, everything seems to be working really, really well. The auction house, all the materials for a lot of professions have, massively crashed, just as expected. They'll be rising again, most likely, once everyone goes through the portal and there's not as many people leveling in the vanilla universe and stuff like that. They have enabled arenas, so you can do arena skirmishes, which is really awesome. And a lot of people I know have been getting comments saying that the add-ons and everything are all busted. Now, this is just normal. This is to be expected, guys. The developers of the add-ons do have to update once all this stuff goes live, and I've noticed over the past couple of days, a lot of the add-ons are starting to work again. Just make sure you're opening up CurseForge and updating your add-ons, right? Because you are using severely out-of-date add-ons if you're not updating them. So make sure you have CurseForge open and updating as you're playing throughout these next few days. Every add-on should be working within the next week or two. That's not that big of a deal. Now, an update on the boost. A lot of you are asking me, how quick is it to level now in TBC? It's about 30% faster. So to give you guys an example, I boosted a Blood Elf Mage the other night, just, because I was bored, and I do want a Mage for arenas in TBC. So the way that I did it was, I bought some greens off the auction house, some Frozen Wrath gear just to give myself some better damage. I did one full strat. I did a BRD jump run for the Molten Core Attune, and I did one Skolo. That brought me from 58 to 59 and 50%. And then I did the cloth turn-ins, and that got me 50%, and I hit 60. I think it was about 7 hours playtime from 58 to 60 doing it that way. So that's, in my opinion, that was a really fast way of doing it. And the cloth turn-ins are great. You have the extra cloth turn-in now at Silver Moon, so you don't just have 4 anymore. You have 5 cloth turn-ins. So it's about 50% of a level at level 59 if you do those cloth turn-ins now. So that's another massive way to just level super fast. Like I said, I did a BRD jump run just to get the Molten Core attunement done, because I may jump in there just, for fun, just get some rings and stuff. And then, yeah, like a full strat, a full Skolo, and then the cloth turn-ins, and boom, I was level 60. I'm going to do the same thing with a Paladin. It's very, very quick. It feels really good. And then we have Warsong Gulch weekend this weekend, so we're going to be doing some pre-mades tonight. Also, guys, we are recruiting on Night Slayer Horde. We have a few slots open in our Core 25. If you're interested in joining the guild, join the Discord with the link down in the description below. Talk in general chat. Tell us what you're playing, and you might be able to get a spot. We have I think 4 or 5 spots open for our Core 25 going into TBC. If you're interested in raiding, or if you're just interested in joining a guild to hang out with people who are enjoying Classic. But anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update from my point of view how this pre-patch week has gone. It was rough and rocky at the start. I think it's kind of mellowed out. Everything is working smooth now. I'm having a lot of fun. Pre-patch is always one of the best times in WoW. And again, I stream on Twitch Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So jump over there, give me a follow. We might be doing another giveaway for a level 58 character boost by the time that TBC launches. So come follow, hang out on Twitch. We're doing every night pre-patch stuff. We're having a good time. So anyways, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.